Hi, good morning. It's Sherry Veronica. And I wanted to talk to you about a statement I heard made on YouTube. Now, the lady, some may say, is quite outlandish, but I'm of the persuasion that truth may be stranger than fiction, okay? I do not believe in the manufactured lies that they write into history. And even now, this is 2022, when they go into their incursions and when they do whatever they do in terms of war, disease, pandemics, when they do what they do, you're never really sure. You're never really sure why they do what they do. And many people have to wait for them to write their books, and then you read it and you repeat it from the history books. I'm not part of that. Now, this lady on Facebook, no, she was on YouTube. She made a statement concerning black people. I am on record saying that there is a subhuman nature to some black people, especially the ones you may meet in the New World where slaves were traded. There is a subhuman component to many of the black people you'll meet on the islands and in the New World, okay? In America also, yeah. So I stay away from them. I avoid black men like the plague. Do not associate. Okay. So this black woman said that black people were cloned to be slaves. They were cloned to be slaves here on this earth. Okay. So when she made a statement like that, and I, from dealing with black people, found an uneasiness, found that there was a predatory nature, they were wicked, they were cruel, cold, cruel. And I came out of those situations thinking in my mind that there's a subhuman aspect to these particular creatures. And then she said that black people were cloned. And I am on record for saying that you cannot enslave a human being. Now, maybe we need to define what a human being is. So maybe we should just say a being, someone that has a spark of life, a spark of some sort of intellect, intelligence, something that you can't really put in there. It's innate, something innate. And I've been on record as saying that you cannot enslave that sort of being. Okay? You can have them in a prison system, maybe, but hundreds of years, centuries of slavery, have them fall comfortably within that setting that you didn't even have to lock the plantation gates anymore. They were so trained, you know what I'm saying? Domesticated. So putting everything together, and another thing, I've heard people saying that Oprah is a clone, this person is a clone, that person. I always it's like just pure fuckery for me. To my ears, it's like, what do you mean? Come on now. They will say some U.S. presidents are clones. It's not the real president, and I'm not on that spiel. Okay, I'm not about that. I don't know who are clones. I don't know who are not clones. All I know is what I noticed. And recently I was talking to someone. She is in America, and she was planning to go to one of the small islands to meet someone. And I found myself saying to her, be careful, they're not human. I said that to her. I said, be careful when you go to these places to meet the guys. They're not quite human. And I come back around. You see, you should not really second guess yourself. And sometimes we go against our better judgment just so we can fit in. I don't try to fit in. I'm not trying to fit into anything. I know what I know. I know what I know, and I say what I say. And I'm saying that there's something that they're not telling us when they can even write it in the U.S. Constitution, that the black people were not quite human. They didn't fit the 100% percentile. They were not human. Okay? They were not human. That's what they said about the slaves after slavery was done, and they had to, like, no segregation. We all have to be inclusive, or that kind of, BS, inclusivity. Well, when they started on that, some of the founding fathers say, hey, wait, let's not forget what we know. Let's not forget what we know. The blacks are not human. They're not human. But they had to forget it. They had to forget it, okay? And they had to include black people in everything. And they were, again, re-domesticated. You had to tell them, oh, no, you can eat with a knife and fork. Oh, don't steal, we'll pay you. You don't have to run off and steal that. But the jails are still filled with black people. The prison system is held up, is for profit because of black people, black males. So when you hear a government put it in the Constitution that a certain set of people are not human, when you hear people saying that a certain set of people could be cloned, were cloned, when I am on record to say that people in the small islands in the New World, they're subhumans. You will find subhumans, people who kill each other. They kill their women. They rob their women. They rape their women. They're not human. They're not human. So when I heard her say that black people were cloned, that the Anunnaki, that's probably not a word you know, but that's a word she said. It's the name of a particular god, came here and they cloned the black man from something that they already found here. But black people were cloned to be slaves. Your holy books tell you that you were created to serve, to be slaves. So it's a sickening thing. It's a very sickening thing to think that that's what black people came from. Zombies, clones, subhumans. So if black people are subhumans, what are white people? Where did they come from? Who built them? Who created them? And the Chinese, okay? And the native Indians, where did they come from? And what is it to be human? What is it really to be a human being? We may not be sure about these words that we speak. We have adopted the colonial masters' languages. We have to admit that. But what is it to be? To experience being, becoming, to become. What really is it? I may not be able to put it in a succinct way, but enough to know that there are some black people that you will meet that you're left with only one thought, that you were with someone who is not quite human. This is Sherry Veronica.